Welcome to NT Coins World. Today, we're exploring top 4 Washington quarters dollars coins that at first glance might seem like ordinary pocket change, but has captured the attention of collectors for decades. Top 4 Washington quarters dollars coins. If you've ever wondered whether coins from the late 20th century could be collectible, this Denver Mint issue is a perfect example of a modern quarter that's more than meets the eye. Struck at a time when the United States was experiencing a boom in coin circulation. Top 4 1983, D in 1995, P in 1983, P in 1992. D Washington quarters dollars coins. Quarters circulated widely through vending machines, parking meters, and everyday transactions. Yet surviving coins in higher grades are rarer than most people expect. The year 1983 stands out strongly in Washington quarter collecting, and the reason begins with one simple fact. No official U.S. mint sets were produced for circulation strikes in 1983. This single decision had a lasting impact on the survival rate of high-quality coins. Without mint sets to preserve fresh examples, nearly all 1983 quarters entered circulation immediately, where they experienced wear, contact marks, and environmental exposure. As a result, well-preserved examples today are far scarcer than the mintage numbers alone would suggest. The date-and-mintmark tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most productive facilities in U.S. coinage history. The obverse features the familiar and timeless portrait of George Washington, facing left, designed by John Flanagan. The word Liberty curves boldly above Washington's head, while In God We Trust rests to the side of his profile. Below the portrait sits the date, 1983, with the small D mint mark confirming its origin. In fine condition, the coin shows noticeable but even wear. Washington's hairlines are softened, particularly above the ear and at the back of the head, yet his facial features remain strong and recognizable. The lettering remains clear, bold, and fully legible, which is essential for a proper fine-grade example. These coins carry the visual character of circulation, a look many collectors appreciate because it tells a story of real-world use. The reverse displays the iconic eagle with wings spread, clutching arrows and olive branches. In fine condition, the eagle's chest and wing tips show wear, and some feather detail is smoothed, but the overall design remains balanced and complete. United States of America, E pluribus unum, and quarter dollar are all clearly visible, maintaining strong visual appeal. The 1983 D quarter is composed of copper-nickel-clad layers, weighing 5.67 grams and measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter. While the metal itself is standard, the circumstances surrounding its production are anything but ordinary. Mintage for the 1983 D Washington quarter exceeded 617 million coins, a number that suggests abundance. However, this is where collector knowledge makes all the difference. Because there were no mint sets, and because Denver-struck coins from this period were heavily used, high-grade survivors are extremely difficult to locate. Even coins in modest, uncirculated condition are surprisingly scarce. In fine condition, most 1983 D quarters trade close to face value, but collector demand is driven not only by price, it's driven by importance. This coin is considered a key modern date for Washington quarter sets. Many collectors intentionally keep fine and very fine examples simply because better ones are so difficult to find. As condition improves, value rises sharply. Uncirculated examples often sell for several dollars, while certified pieces in MS 65 and higher can command strong premiums. Top population examples graded MS 67 or higher have achieved impressive auction prices, sometimes reaching into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This massive value gap between circulated and top-grade coins makes the 1983 D quarter one of the most exciting modern Washington quarters to hunt. Error varieties further enhance its appeal. The early 1980s were known for inconsistent die quality and heavy die use, and the 1983 D quarter reflects this. Collectors actively search for die cracks, die breaks, filled mint marks, and grease-filled dies that cause weak or missing design elements. Double die varieties are especially desirable when visible on the date or lettering. Off-center strikes and broad strikes also exist and are highly collectible, especially when the date remains visible. Clipped planchets, caused by improperly cut metal blanks, add another layer of rarity and visual interest. These errors transform an already important coin into a standout collectible. What truly defines the 1983 D Washington quarter is its reputation as a condition rarity legend. It teaches collectors an essential lesson. Rarity isn't always about how many coins were made. It's about how many survived in collectible condition. This coin remains a benchmark for modern U.S. coin collectors and a favorite subject for educational discussions. 1995 P. Washington quarter dollar coin fine condition. Now we move forward into the mid-1990s to explore another Washington quarter that holds quiet but meaningful collector value. The 1995 P. Washington quarter dollar. While this coin comes from a time of stable mint production and massive output, it still offers layers of interest for collectors who understand grading, condition rarity, and the evolving landscape of U.S. coinage. By 1995, the Washington quarter had become one of the most recognizable coins in American history. It circulated heavily, appearing in everyday transactions across the country. The Philadelphia Mint produced an enormous number of quarters that year, ensuring nationwide availability. Yet, even with such high production, collectors have found reasons to pursue this coin with care and attention. The obverse features the classic portrait of George Washington, struck with generally good detail compared to earlier 1980s issues. Liberty is bold and well-formed. The motto, "In God We Trust," is clean, and the date, 1995, sits confidently below Washington's portrait. The P. mint mark indicates Philadelphia production. In fine condition, the coin shows light to moderate wear. Washington's hair and cheek exhibit smoothing, but his profile remains strong. The legends and date are crisp enough to preserve the coin's visual identity. Many collectors appreciate fine-grade coins because they clearly demonstrate circulation while retaining essential detail. The reverse continues the traditional eagle design. In fine condition, where appears along the eagle's wings and breast, but the arrows, olive branches, and lettering remain distinct. The design feels balanced and complete, reflecting solid minting standards of the mid-1990s. The 1995 P. Washington quarter shares the same copper-nickel clad composition and standard dimensions. While metal content does not influence value, surface quality, strike sharpness, and overall eye appeal do. Mintage for the 1995 P quarter exceeded 1 billion coins, making it one of the most heavily produced Washington quarters. Because of this, most circulated examples are worth face value. However, collector interest grows quickly as condition improves, especially for coins with clean surfaces and minimal contact marks. Uncirculated examples can sell for several dollars, and certified coins graded MS 66 and above often command stronger premiums. High-grade examples with excellent luster and strike quality can reach impressive auction results, especially when competition among registry-set collectors is strong. Error collecting adds another exciting dimension. The 1995 P quarter is known for die cracks, die clashes, struck-through errors, and occasional doubled dies. While dramatic errors are less common than in earlier decades, they are still actively sought by collectors. Off-center strikes and planchet errors appear occasionally and always draw attention. Even minor errors can add collectability, particularly when clearly visible without magnification. Collector interest in the 1995 P. Washington quarter often centers on set building and grading challenges. While common in circulation, finding a truly clean, sharply struck example is harder than many expect. This makes the coin a useful teaching tool for collectors learning to evaluate condition and quality. The 1995 P quarter also holds historical significance as part of the final decade before the state quarters program reshaped American coin collecting. It represents the closing chapter of the long-running classic Washington quarter era, making it meaningful. The year 1983 was a turning point for the United States Mint. Economic pressure, rising production costs, and changing policies all collided in a way that reshaped modern coin collecting. One of the most critical facts about the 1983 P. Washington quarter is that no official U.S. mint sets were produced for circulation strikes that year. This single decision dramatically affected the survival rate of high-quality coins and instantly made the 1983 P quarter a condition rarity. The P. mint mark tells us this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which had resumed using mint marks on quarters just a few years earlier. The obverse design is the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington, created by sculptor John Flanagan. Liberty arches above Washington's head, while In God We Trust rests beside his profile. The date, 1983, appears below, with the small but significant P mint mark clearly visible. In fine condition, the 1983 P quarter shows honest circulation wear. Washington's hair details are softened, especially around the ear and back of the head, yet the facial features remain clear and recognizable. The lettering is fully legible, bold, and complete, which is essential for proper grading. These coins reflect real circulation, a characteristic many collectors appreciate because it tells a story of everyday American life during the early 1980s. The reverse features the classic heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches. In fine condition, the eagle's chest and wing tips show smoothing, but the overall design remains strong. The inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and quarter dollar remain readable and well-balanced. The 1983 P quarter is composed of copper-nickel-clad layers, weighing 5.67 grams and measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter. While the metal content is standard, the coin's significance comes from its history, not its composition. Mintage numbers for the 1983 P Washington quarter were extremely high, exceeding 673 million coins. On paper, this suggests abundance, but experienced collectors know better. Because there were no mint sets, and because nearly all coins entered circulation immediately, high-grade examples are surprisingly scarce today. Even finding lightly worn or well-struck examples can be challenging. In fine condition, most 1983 P quarters trade close to face value, but collector interest goes far beyond price. This coin is widely recognized as one of the most important modern Washington quarters because of its condition rarity. Many collectors intentionally keep fine or very fine examples simply because better ones are so difficult to locate. As condition improves, values rise sharply. Uncirculated examples often sell for several dollars, while certified coins in MS, 65 and higher grades can command strong premiums. Top population coins graded MS, 67 or above have sold for impressive sums, sometimes reaching into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This massive value gap makes the 1983 P quarter one of the most exciting modern quarters to hunt. Error varieties add even more appeal. The early 1980s were known for inconsistent die quality and heavy die use. Collectors actively search for die cracks, die breaks, filled letters, and grease-filled dies that weaken or distort design elements. Double die varieties, especially those visible on the date or inscriptions, are highly sought after. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets also exist and can significantly increase value when the date remains visible. These errors transform an already important coin into a standout collectible. What truly defines the 1983 P Washington quarter is its reputation as a legendary condition rarity. It teaches collectors a crucial lesson. Rarity is not just about how many coins were made. It's about how many survived in collectible condition. This coin remains a cornerstone of modern Washington quarter collecting and a favorite topic among experienced numismatists. 1992, D Washington quarter dollar coin fine condition. Now we move forward nearly a decade to explore another Washington quarter that holds meaningful collector value for different reasons. The 1992 D Washington quarter dollar. While it comes from a more stable era of U.S. mint production, it still offers layers of interest for collectors who understand grading, condition, and subtle minting characteristics. By 1992, the Washington quarter had been part of American daily life for 60 years. It circulated heavily across the nation and was deeply familiar to the public. The Denver Mint produced an enormous quantity of quarters that year, ensuring wide distribution. Yet, even with high mintage, collectors have found plenty to appreciate. The obverse of the 1992 D quarter features George Washington's classic portrait, struck with generally strong detail. Liberty appears bold above the head. In God We Trust is clean and readable, and the date, 1992, sits below the portrait. The D Mint mark confirms Denver production. In fine condition, the coin shows moderate wear. Washington's hair and cheek exhibit smoothing, but the profile remains strong. The legends are clear, and the overall appearance remains balanced. Many collectors enjoy fine-grade coins because they preserve essential detail while clearly showing circulation history. The reverse continues the iconic eagle design. In fine condition, where appears on the eagle's wings and breast, but the arrows, olive branches, and lettering remain distinct. The design feels complete and visually satisfying. The 1992 D quarter uses the standard copper-nickel clad composition with the same weight and diameter as other modern quarters. While metal content does not influence value, strike quality and surface preservation do. Mintage for the 1992 D Washington quarter exceeded 450 million coins, making it a common circulation issue. Most fine-condition examples trade at or near face value. However, collector interest increases dramatically as condition improves. Uncirculated examples can sell for several dollars, especially when luster is strong and contact marks are minimal. Certified coins graded MS 66 and higher can command solid premiums, and top-grade examples have achieved notable auction results. Error collecting adds excitement to the 1992 D quarter. Collectors search for die cracks, die clashes, struck through errors, and minor double dies. While dramatic errors are less common than in earlier decades, they are still actively pursued. Off-center strikes and planchet errors appear occasionally and always attract attention. Even minor errors can add collectability when clearly visible. Collector interest in the 1992 D Washington quarter often focuses on set building and grade selection. While common in circulation, finding a sharply struck, clean example can be harder than expected. This makes the coin valuable as a learning tool for collectors refining their grading skills. The 1992 D quarter also represents the final years before the state quarters program revolutionized American coin collecting. Coins from this era mark the closing chapter of the long-running classic Washington quarter design, giving them added historical significance.